know, Jacob, if we had a place to stay in Jerusalem for the evening, we wouldn't have this hour-long walk every morning and night back home to Emmaus.
Yeah, right. Like a couple of olive merchants could never afford a place in Jerusalem. Get real, Cleopas.
Oh, no. What I was thinking was you could take a wife.
A wife?
Yeah, say a wealthy wife.
Okay, I'm listening.
In fact, I just happen to know a wealthy woman who owns a home just down the road from the temple, huh? What do you say?
From the Who, Tobias's widow?
That's the one.
No, not me. If you're so hot to have a house in Jerusalem, you marry her.
Are you kidding? She killed Tobias.
She did not.
Well, he certainly didn't die from natural causes.
You and your schemes.
Okay, you tell me why they call her Old Skunk Face.
Who calls her that?
Oh, come on, Jacob. You can't tell me she doesn't look just like a skunk. What, with the beady little eyes, the pushed-in nose, the whiskers.
She doesn't look like a skunk. And even if she didn't kill Tobias. No man ever died from having an ugly wife.
Well, what about Eli?
What about him?
Well, he's dead, and his wife was ugly.
She was not.
He's dead, isn't he?
Yes.
That proves it. His wife was ugly.
Just because a man dies young doesn't mean his wife was ugly.
Oh, yeah? Well, explain Obadiah.
All right, look, I'll give you that one, okay? Man, his wife is as mean as a badger. She probably did kill him.
Yeah, that's right. She did.
Yeah, but you see, she isn't ugly. She's just a nag.
Same thing. I'm telling you, Jacob, getting married is dangerous.
No, not if you marry a pretty woman.
And who's to say she won't turn ugly on you? It's happened before, you know.
Give up with you. Hey, here comes those soldiers from last week. Don't start it and let it go. Just let it go. Guys, hey, it's our business here. Come on. No, let it go. Let it go.
Someday, Jacob.
Yeah, someday. Someday.
Did you hear what the Romans did to Jeremiah ben Jonas?
No, what?
They taxed him double, and for no reason.
Hey, maybe his wife was ugly.
No, really, for no reason. He had to sell his wife and 6 kids into slavery just to pay the taxes on his land. But what else could he do? If he didn't pay his taxes, he would lose his land. If his olive crop fails, he may never see his family again.
I know what you mean. The same thing happened to me. Remember, if my sister hadn't married that rich old butcher from up in Bethsaida, we wouldn't have had enough money to pay our taxes last year.
Yeah, but no woman ever died from having an ugly husband.
I give up. They're impossible.
Hey, Jacob, do you know who that is?
Oh, yeah, that man from Galilee. Jesus, isn't it?
If it wasn't for the Roman government, he'd be the king of Israel right now.
Oh, so he says, along with a handful of other kooks who also claim to be the Messiah.
No, he really is the Messiah. He's going to raise up an army and kick the Roman government out of Israel and take back the throne. Under his reign, Israel's going to become the greatest nation on earth again.
Cleopas, get a grip.
No, he really is the Son of God.
If he was the Messiah that we've been waiting for to save us from our enemies, don't you think the Pharisees and the other Jewish rulers would be hanging out with him instead of wanting him arrested?
Hey, let's follow him. Maybe he'll do a miracle.
Cleopas, we can't just leave our booth and go gallivanting around in the wilderness just to watch someone perform magic tricks.
You wouldn't leave this to follow the Son of God?
I don't think the Son of God would ask me to leave everything behind just to follow him. I have to eat, you know.
Jacob, didn't you hear about how he miraculously made the food appear to feed the thousands at Bethsaida and again near Magdala? You don't need to worry about what you're going to eat. Let's just leave this and go.
Listen, even if he could make bread appear out of thin air, somehow I don't think the Messiah wants me to act irresponsibly.
What's so irresponsible about sitting at his feet and listening to him teach? People say listening to him speak, it makes them feel alive again. Don't you want to feel alive again, Jacob?
Listen, I'm feeling quite alive without any help, thank you. And I don't need to hear any self-righteous speeches from you.
But Jacob, he's the Son of God. Don't you think it'd be a good idea to let him know you're on his side?
Don't you think it'd be a bad idea to let the Pharisees know that you're not on their side? If you hang around with this Jesus, you'll lose your standing in the community. You'll lose your friends. No one wants to be associated with the mindless people who do nothing but follow him around.
But he just walked right past us. Don't you think that's a sign that we should follow him?
No.
Well, I do, and I'm going.
Cleopas, no. Listen, don't be a fool.
I've been a fool for lesser things.
Cleopas, he's not who you think he is. He's not going to solve all of our problems. Cleopas,
So there we were with the crowd pushing against us on every side, and then Jesus said, "Who touched me?" We were like, "Duh, everybody's touching you." It was just like when the three of us were little, and I'd be poking at Martha just to bug her, and she'd say, "Mom, Lazarus is touching me!"
I never said that.
And then Mom would say, "Lazarus, quit touching Martha."
Well, why did he say who's touching me if everybody was?
He was talking about this one lady who would crawl on her hands and knees through the crowd.
Yeah, this totally unclean lady. She should have stayed away from crowds, not crawled through them, touching everybody, making them all unclean.
Yeah, she was bleeding, so she was totally unclean.
That's disgusting.
Oh, anyway, so she reaches up to touch the bottom edge of his clothes, hoping that she'd get well.
Well, why didn't she just ask him to heal her like everybody else does?
She was unclean. The crowd wouldn't have let her near them, and she didn't want to touch Jesus because then he would have been unclean. So she just touched the bottom edge of his coat.
How could he feel someone touching the edge of his coat?
Exactly. He said he could feel power going out from him.
He could feel power going out of him.
Well, what happened to her?
Oh, she got well, just like that.
Well, then what happened to the people she touched before she was made clean by Jesus? Wouldn't they still technically be unclean?
Good question.
Well, I don't know. I didn't think about that. What with the miraculous healing and everything? I don't know, John, what do you think? Would all those people still technically be unclean?
I don't know. Why don't you go ask Jesus?
Yeah.
Me? No, I can't ask Jesus anything.
Oh, why not? He doesn't bite.
Yeah.
But he's an important person. He wouldn't have time for me.
Don't be ridiculous. He's the nicest person you'll ever meet.
But it's a stupid question.
Oh, don't worry about that. I ask him stupid questions all the time. He doesn't mind at all.
That's true. Every question Peter asks is a stupid question.
Well, Cleopas, it looks like you fit right in around here.
Okay, fine. I'll ask him. But if it makes him mad, I'm going to tell him you guys made me ask him.
You'll be fine. Hey, you guys remember when he got ticked at us for asking stupid questions and called us men of little faith?
Which time was that?
That's true. You guys are men of little faith.
Oh, look at the big shot Lazarus. Rich, healthy, respected. You just wait till something bad happens to you and we'll see how much faith you got.
Oh, right. Like I'm going to drop dead or something.
You never know. Stupid question.
Yeah.
Hey, this guy isn't really the Messiah, is he?
Of course he's the Messiah. He's the Son of the living God.
How can he be? I mean, he doesn't act like the Pharisees. Look at him. He's so approachable. He doesn't act like a king at all.
I know what you mean, but he is a king. See, there's authority in his words. Authority over men and over demons.
Yeah, but you know what? He's also a really good friend.
Yeah, but he's also the Son of God. You know, sometimes I wonder if he really is going to take the throne of David and get rid of the Romans. He talks more about what he calls the kingdom of heaven than he does the kingdom of Israel. It makes me wonder if he knows about an enemy out there that's worse than Rome.
No, I don't think so.
No, really,
way.
really. You know how he's always speaking in parables, in metaphors? Sometimes I think he's come to save us from the enemy of our souls. Not just our country. He'll rule with love and not an army, and he will be the king of heaven and earth, not just Israel.
Oh, that's good. Oh, John. Come on, Les. Let's bring this party to life.
You know, John, perhaps you're right. I mean, you seem to be closer to Jesus than the rest of them.
Yeah, we're cousins and best friends.
You make me happy. You make me glad to be alive. You are my favorite friend. You make me joyful. You make me want to dance with you. And it's your song that we're dancing to. Jesus, you are faithful, you are true. And never have I known someone like you.
Cleopas, what's going on? Where have you been? Look, the whole city's going nuts.
They've condemned him to death.
What?
The Romans are going to have him crucified.
What? Why? What has Jesus ever done to them?
Peter says it's the Pharisees. They stirred up Pontius Pilate against him.
Why? If he's the Messiah, why would they want him executed?
You've heard the way he's talked about them and their self-righteous religious hypocrisy. They hate him. They don't want him to take back the throne of David. They're having him whipped right now, even as we speak.
But how can the Son of God be killed by mere mortals? The real Messiah will live forever. He can't be killed.
Maybe we were wrong. Maybe he's not the Messiah after all.
What? Jesus a heretic? I don't believe it. Where's Peter and Lazarus and James?
They all left last night. They were afraid the Romans were going to come after them next and kill them for being part of the revolution against Rome. Except for John. He's out in the courtyard with Jesus' mother and Mary and Martha where Jesus is being whipped. Come on, Jacob, let's go.
How could this be happening? I was sure he was the Son of God.
I know you had me on your mind when you climbed up on that hill, for you saw me with eternal eyes. While I was yet in sin, Redeemer, Savior, friend. Every stripe upon your battered back, every thorn that pierced your brow, and every nail drove deep through killer's hands, said your love knows no end.
So, how many pounds of olives do we sell today?
Only about 7 or 8.
Slow day.
Yeah.
Sure makes the walk back home to Emmaus seem even longer.
Yeah.
On the road to Emmaus, we were walking side by side, and our conversation lingered and ended with a sigh. Our hearts were locked in silence for the one who had died. Just the other day, all of our hope was crucified. Jesus, a prophet who was mighty in word and deed, and our hope was that he'd be the one to set us free from the hand of the Romans and the years of slavery. Now again the Jewish heart, it lives with suffering. Messiah, when you come. Messiah, when you come. From the hands of our enemies, you will come to set us free. Messiah, when you
So, have you seen John since it happened?
No, he said he was going over to join the others.
Yeah, I can't blame him. It's best to be with family and friends at a time like this.
You know, Cleopas, I don't care what anyone says. I say he was the greatest prophet Israel has ever had.
Yeah, maybe, but I was just hoping that he would be the Messiah. The one to set us free, to end our suffering. I guess he wasn't who I wanted him to be.
Who are you talking about?
Where'd you come from?
The man they call Jesus.
Jesus who?
Jesus of Nazareth, of course. The ones the Romans crucified just 3 days ago, right outside Jerusalem. How could anyone in Israel not know about it? He was supposed to be the Messiah, the one who would set us free from the Romans' rule.
Yeah, but he wasn't who I wanted him to be. Oh well, it's not the first time I've been fooled, and it probably won't be the last.
Exactly.
Tell me, what makes you think that the Messiah was supposed to set you free from the Romans' rule?
The scriptures. Don't you know anything?
This Jesus may not have done what you wanted him to do for you, but that doesn't mean that he's not God's son. You do understand that, don't you?
But if the Messiah isn't going to save us from suffering, what is he going to do for us?
Have you not read the scriptures? When Moses, speaking to the children of Israel,
Now a stranger who happened to be going our way, by the questions he asked, we both were amazed. I said, "Sir, how can you not know the news of the day about the man of God and how the leaders had him slain?" stranger took the bread, he broke it, and it was then that I recognized him.